Hello, it's time for lesson 21 in the workbook of A Course in Miracles. Good to see you back here. And the headline of lesson 21 is I'm determined to see things differently. And yesterday we worked with the sentence I'm determined to see, if you remember, which already implies to see things differently, right, to what they currently seem to be. And today we get more concrete and actually select as well things that we do want to see differently, and mainly the lesson asks us to pick things that make us angry. So these are things that obviously upset us, right? And the teachings just use the emotion anger as one of the obvious ones for us to focus on today. And the most interesting sentence for me is in paragraph 2, sentence 5. You will become increasingly aware that a slight twinge of annoyance is nothing but a veil drawn over intense fury. It's like, wow, okay, that is huge. And that is actually something very similar that has caught my eye recently in the main text, where it says something very much the same to that just a tiny amount of anger or frustration or a similar emotion actually is just hiding a sea of that emotion, a huge amount of that emotion that we are not even aware of. Like, wow. That is pretty eye-opening, I would say. I believe I came in contact with my sea of anger actually just a few months ago, and I talked about it, what happened to me, in one of my recent podcast episodes, which I can link here for you as well. But I guess this point in the lesson 21 shows that there is probably so much more to discover. It's a little bit what comes up for me. It's a little bit, scared. There's some fear now that I can observe when I think about how much more anger I might have inside of myself. And at the other side, I'm as well excited to resolve it somehow, or to change my whole vision about it. And that leads me to my question of the day. What are we going to do with that, right? What are we going to do with that sea of anger, or this intense fury that is living inside of us? Are we going to be guided throughout the workbook to actually resolve this and let it go? I don't know. I'm curious what's going to happen to us going through the workbook in regards to all of this anger, and of course as well other negative, low vibrating emotions that we carry so much deep inside of us. But it's a good indication that every time we feel a twinge of one of these emotions, like anger, it means there is so much more buried inside of us that we have not been aware so far. And I will try my best, and I hope you too, to not let fear take over in that regards, that we shut ourselves off to the teachings of this, or even becoming more aware of it, because that is probably part of the letting go or transformation process, whatever will need to happen. So don't be afraid of it. I'm sure all is going to be fine. This is just another opportunity again for us to trust and just follow the daily steps, the daily guidance that we have in the lessons, and keep going on this journey that we are on, right? And with that, I want to remind you as well that you're doing fantastically, and you have finished already 3 weeks of the 52 weeks of the workbook. How amazing is that, right? Be proud of yourself to have stuck already 3 weeks through out the workbook with these lessons and really investing in yourself and in your transformation. I'm very proud of you, and I'm so glad that you're here with me on this journey together. And I will see you tomorrow again for lesson 22. Until then, bye bye.